Are we getting close? Hey, did you guys hear that 25 guys tested positive today in the league, and 11 practice squad guys? Can you imagine that? That's a big day.
Get us going?
None for you though, right?
You can speak to that, John. No. We're holding on right
Pete,
now.
Wait your turn,
Pete,
Greg. I'll call on you.
just wondering if you have any update on how Gavin's doing after that.
Yeah,
Unfortunate.
he had a real successful surgery. He sounded way better. Was much more upbeat about that everything worked out okay and all that. He'll get back here in a couple days.
How tough is that to see a kid, right off the practice squad?
Jeez, he
decided
just got going.
Right
Yeah, what a heartbreaker. Just got started. He was doing well too, and to get to this point where we got him active and all that, and versatile football player. And, he was. It's just too bad. It's a real shame.
Bob Condotta, Seattle Times.
Yeah, Pete, what exactly was the injury with Gavin? Can you say exactly what it was?
Yeah, he broke his leg. He broke both bones, tibia fibula, and had to get it fixed up.
Okay. And Brian Monet, what's his situation?
He sprained his knee somewhat. It seems like it's a PCL sprain that he's getting around real well today. Really, everybody's surprised that he was getting around as well today. So we'll just have to wait and see. We'll take care of him during the week and find out by the end of the week if he'll be okay. But it was a very, very positive report, relative to, not knowing if it was an ACL or all that kind of stuff yesterday. So we'll keep our fingers crossed that he'll be okay.
Masvita.
Hey, Pete, what did you see out of Jake Hearn just in terms of his play? And then, what did you see? I had a follow-up to that.
Jake has been really impressive throughout because he really kind of gets the game. He's really smart, really bright, really mindful of having a plan and how to work his blocks and fit the assignments that he has. He's just a good savvy football player. He's a really big dude too, and big thick guy that they can't knock around. He's got really good hands, and he's much more a tackle than he is a guard in our assessment, and really he would say the same thing. And he played a lot better at this spot than he did when we moved him inside by emergency status in the past. So he did a really good job. He had a couple plays, guys ran around him and stuff like that, but all in all, he came through, and everybody's really fired up for him.
Yeah, I was going to follow up with this, what makes him so versatile, but just to repeat, you're saying that he gets the game and he really works hard at his.
Yes, because it's his smarts really. That's why Mike and Andy, they feel like he can jump around and play different spots and all because he gets it and it really makes sense to him. But we think he's really better suited to play outside on the right side.
Michael Sean.
Hey, Pete, how much of your success in the run game or just up front on defense was because you had Brian and Puna and Al all doing their thing, and if you have to lose Monet for a little bit, what kind of impact will that have?
Yeah, those guys have played really well. We're huge in there, and Al. If you keep seeing Al, just keeps making plays. He's doing great. He's having the best year of his career, I would think. Monet, 340 something pounds. Those two guys are monsters in there, and Puna's got great leverage and is a great technique player. So it really, I think it all stems from the play from those three guys, our ability to play the run, and it's why you've seen Bobby and Brooksy make so many tackles this year. They've really, the line of scrimmage has been controlled well, and those guys are both cashing in on it. So it takes everybody, it takes the whole group to do it, but there's no doubt that it's really centered around those guys starting the line of scrimmage and controlling it. So we would miss Brian if he can't play. Just because we like the rotations, and it's hard to keep those big guys out there a long time. We let them work, and then we get them a break, and then we send them back out, and so that would affect the rotation as much as anything.
Real quick on Monet, so he has just the knee sprain that he suffered yesterday. The other knee's not bothering him anymore.
I don't know that it's over. I don't know that, but that's not the issue right now.
Okay, thanks.
Art.
Pete, entering the Week 5 game against the Rams, you guys were averaging 26 points, and I think Russell had the top quarterback rating in the NFL at that point. How different or alike is this offense right now compared to going into Week 5?
I don't think we've played better than we played this yesterday, in terms of the mix and all of that. Russell was a 115 yesterday, his rating for the day. And so I thought the way we were able to mix, everybody benefited from that. And the balance of the attack and the execution on third down made everybody better. But I thought Russ played as well as he's played all year. And he didn't have to carry the load and throw it 40 times to get that done. He was very, very effective and very resourceful with his movement and working with the line of scrimmage and the pass protection. So he found the spaces to make the big plays, which I think is vintage Russell. So I don't know. I can't tell you, Art, that it's going to carry over next week. We're right on the same course and all, but we would like to be. And I think that was a really clear illustration of how I visualize us to look, and I've been telling you guys, we've been that a lot over the years. It hasn't been as obvious this year, and so I think Rashad had a lot to do with it. The guys up front obviously played well, but I thought Rashad's explosiveness in the offense really added to the whole thing that really balanced out the mixture of run and pass.
Curtis?
Yeah, Pete, speaking of Rashad, it seemed like he put his head down and kind of ran through the finish of some of those tackles and stuff yesterday, maybe more so than he has in the past. And what kind of a benefit do you think that added to his play yesterday? And if he's able to start running like that, what could that kind of dimension add to his game at this point?
Yeah, that was my favorite part of his game. It wasn't the big runs. I mean, those were beautiful plays and all that, but it was the 2 or 3 times when he saw the situation and attacked it. And he's a big, fast kid. He's 230 something pounds. As a running back. Sorry, not 230. And with his speed and quickness, it makes him a more difficult guy to deal with. And I thought he got behind his pads well. Honestly, I would tell you, I think that Adrian had an influence on him. And I don't know if he said something, I guess, about that, but I just think that he took a new step forward, and I'm really excited for him and really excited for us to have that. And that was one game. Got to go do it again and all that, but that makes him very difficult, and he's not always been. He's shown signs of that kind of play at times, but not the consistency we saw yesterday. And so I know he's pumped up about it.
Tim?
Pete, how's DJ Reed?
When I understand, he's okay. Yeah, he took that big shot to the chest and all that kind of stuff. Got the wind knocked out of him and all that. And but from what I hear, he should be okay for the weekend.
And then you kind of started off this with mentioning it, but the number of positive cases today, I think there's 17 teams that had a positive today. Have you guys considered changing any of your meeting plans or anything like that going forward, just because of the rise across the league?
We just elevated, all on alert. Elevated our alerts about mask wearing and all the stuff that we can do there, and have been talking about it for a couple days leading into this, and then I didn't have that news when I met with the team today, so I didn't get to convey that to them. But I was on the topic anyway, and so everybody is on high alert.
Greg?
Pete, do you have a read on how many guys are booster third shot guys?
Greg, I don't know that number. We have not talked about it. I don't know that number. Sorry.
With Penny yesterday, he was kind of vulnerable with us, talking to us and saying that he was on social media and people were just burying him and it affected him. Did you sense any mental dip after those first couple years, or something that you as a staff had to intercede with him off the field wise mentally?
No, not particularly a dip at all. I do know that he's sensitive. He's always been a sensitive kid, and I've really, Rashad and I have spent a lot of time together and just going through stuff and dealing with the ups and downs and all of that. But I heard that as well, that he had turned away from it, which like everybody should, and particularly anybody that's in it's in the limelight. But No, no, I can't tell you that there was any significant timing to that at all that showed it. I don't know that.
And then without Woods, what was the impetus to move him a little more than just right over the nose, move him up and down a little bit? And what has that gotten for you?
Really, it was honestly, it was to try to just realizing that he's a very special. He was playing so well earlier in the year as also that he's a very special talent because he's such a big guy. He's got such great length. He's really smart. And he's physical as well, that he could handle a move, and he might be, if we put him in some different spots, and we moved him out on the tight end some and in the tackle area, that he might be really unique at that. And it was really the exact same. It was total Red Bryant realization. I mean, it all was in the same thought, and you know, it kind of changed Red's career a little bit. And now you're seeing, like, because of some injuries and all that, that we're not playing him outside all of the time, but we are moving him around and try to get him on the move, and he's on fire, you know, and he's so much fun to watch because he's having so much fun. He's having the time of his life playing, and really excited about it.
Thank you.
John Boyle?
Yeah, one more on the COVID topic. We're, I think, 20 months into when players first reported last April with all the protocols. Just how much of the challenge is just avoiding complacency and keeping guys on it when it's been going on this long?
John, that's it, man. That's the whole issue worldwide, you know, and people get fatigued from it, and we just can't. We can't let that happen. And even though everybody's human, and they, you know, you get worn down by the reminders and the constant, because it's stressful when you have to be continually reminded and thoughtful of something that you wouldn't normally do. And it wears on you, and we try to avoid it, you know, and so we look for ways to get out of it. I mean, that's the conversation we hear all the time. That's with the national clamor, you know. It is about being diligent, and so diligence comes from, you know, the constant reminders and the discipline that it takes to stick with it. And you know, I like to say I'm doing a great job of that. I got to do better. I got to keep helping guys, and our staff guys that are tuned in have to help guys more so that they can just stay tuned into it. I mean, here we go. We're in the last month of the season, and we got a shot to make it through. You know, I don't know if after today, you know, what's going to happen, but everybody has to continually be reminded and stop griping about it. Stop griping about being healthy and helping other people be healthy. I mean, I don't get that. That's beyond me. It's so far away from personal rights. I don't get it. And we're just trying to stay healthy, and so we're going to try to keep doing a great job of it, and hopefully we can get through it just another day. I mean, just it's one day at a time. It's constant as anything that we've ever been around, and we just have to do a good job. I got to do better. I got to remind guys more so.
Bob?
First full game without Jamal Adams this year. How did you feel like it went with Ryan Neal back there?
Ryan played really well. He did really well. He picked his spots on opportunities to be aggressive. He's very sound in all of his play. I thought he was close to error-free for the game, except for he and Diggsy missing their chance to get a pick. You know, you can get shared sacks, but you can't get shared interceptions. And those guys I don't know what happened on that one floater ball, but. He played really well, and that's no surprise. He's done everything he's done well, so we're really obviously fortunate that he could do that.
Brady?
Pete, will Rashad continue to be your primary guy in the backfield?
Well, I think he deserves the shot to show that, you know, to start it out, but we'll still rotate to keep guys fresh. But we're gonna give him a shot again to come right on back and see if we can keep going.
And what's the outlook this week for Travis Homer and Adrian Peterson?
I can update you on Travis. Is really hopeful that he'll be able to return this week. I don't know until we get more work done with Adrian. Adrian was able to visit with some of his personal trainers down in the Houston area over the weekend, which hopefully helped. He felt good about that, but I don't know where he is as far as coming back.
Thanks.
Last question, Art?
No, this better be a good one, Art. Here you go.
When the next opponent is on Monday Night Football,
the next
do you pay attention
Yeah.
to the broadcast, or do you just wait for the all 22 and whatnot?
No, on Monday nights, around our office, the game's on everywhere. Everybody's got it on. I mean, that's always it's just kind of a tradition. You know, you work with the Monday night game. It's always kind of a backdrop. And so obviously tonight, you know, we'll be passing out the popcorn and all that and get a good look here. So that's we do have popcorn, by the way. But no, this is a really good opportunity for us to see them, you know, and up close. And I mentioned to the team, it's an assignment. Everybody's got to watch, you know, and it'll help kick us into just being updated with how their season has gone. You know, we hear all of the background stuff that's you know, really distributed during the broadcast. It's all good stuff for us. So
what
we're
would
on
be the outcome that most helps the Seahawks?
Gosh, Art, I don't know. Can everybody lose? I guess a tie. Yeah, we like.
Tie?
Yeah,
Okay.
0-0. That'd be great.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
See ya.